Hey guys, Julia here. Welcome back to another video. It's monthly setup time again, which is crazy that we're already getting into April. And before we get started, I just want to thank you guys so much for all the love with the March setup. Every like, every comment, every share, every kind word just means so much and tells me to just keep going and keep making videos because let me tell you, it is hard out there in the social media streets, and I appreciate every last bit of support along the way. So with this setup, let me know what your favorite spread ends up being and if you've ever tried time blocking. A little hint there. So we're gonna go ahead and hop onto a new bullet journal setup for April. All right, guys, I'm of course in my Archer and Olive Crescent Moon notebook, and it's almost full to the brim, which is crazy. But this month's theme was chosen in a poll by my lovelies over on Patreon, and I was super jazzed up about making this one happen. The theme this month is baby ducks, and you guys know I have to put some sort of spin on a theme that at first glance doesn't seem all that out of the ordinary, but the stars of this theme are these super adorable but also badass ducks from the regular show. I'll explain a little bit more about them in a few, but I wanted to shuffle things around a little this month and do a full-on, almost pattern on the left with your typical non-threatening looking rubber ducks and a blobby graphic motif that I'll be using throughout. For this and for most of the setup really, I'll be using the Archer and Olive acrylograph pens just because I know I'll get a nice solid fill on everything. I am using Tombows as a bottom layer to just get like a base going, but nothing quite covers solid areas like those paint pens. I do have an affiliate code and I'll link that down in the description along with all the supplies I'm using in this setup. For the cover page over on the right, I'm doing up some super fun lettering of a common quote in the show by another character. Jolly good show. And I didn't want something super deep for this month. It's a lighthearted, fun theme, and sometimes I just want to look at something that makes me smile. And with warmer weather headed our way, I just wanted to keep it really light. Down under that, I'm doodling in our four little ducks, and they start off as these little yellow blobs basically. And once I have their beaks and their little legs filled in, the black outline sort of like gives them that finishing shape and look. So yeah, in the show, they seem super cute and innocent at first, but they take down a snake, they play video games, and y'all, they end up turning into this super weird chicken man and eventually like a full-on Transformer style robot. Ugh, they're so good. It really seems really random just talking about it, but trust me, even if you just YouTube a bunch of baby ducks, you gotta check out this nonsense. It's crazy. But yeah, of course I chose some really fun matching washi tape to accent this whole theme and to finish this one off. The monthly spread is up next, and there's no shame in my game here, especially with the cover spread being so festive. I'm keeping it relatively simple and throwing in my usual grid style calendar, and per usual, I forgot to leave room for the days of the week, so I'm just doing like little tabs along the bottom of the calendar to mark those days. And for the lettering this month, I'm keeping it pretty chill too. I'm going in with this super simple block lettering, and to spice it up a tad, I'm mixing up lowercase and capital letters. and it just gives the whole thing like this very youthful but classy, crafty feel. And down in the corner, I'm doodling in one of our little baby ducks with a curvy little speech bubble. And inside of that bubble, I'll be adding in some monthly goals and reminders. I do come back to this monthly spread at least once a week to set up my weekly spreads. So I know whatever I put here is going to be seen on a weekly basis. I'm also using a gray mild liner this month to add in subtle drop shadows to lift elements and lettering like right up off the page. It's so funny because in my career as a graphic designer, I hardly ever use drop shadows because I'm a snob about it, and it's just not like the move most of the time. But in my journal, it really makes all the difference. So I guess it's all about context, folks. So yeah, there's not much to it, but I do love how this spread ended up turning out. All right, I feel like I'm talking a lot in this one. But okay, moving along, the next page is the habit tracker and focus check-in section. This time around, I'm splitting my 4 habits into these bar charts, and I like this because I can see how I fare with my habits in the first half of the month versus the last half. It seems like life things just get really crazy at the end of the month because I'm balancing work with trying to get everything ready for these monthly plan with me's and Patreon. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but it can be a lot sometimes. So this is just a quick way to quickly and visually gauge my habit productivity. So yeah, in the middle of the trackers, I'm putting in our second baby duck, sort of karate chopping at the header. And if you think this is random, it's really not. Like I said, these are some very active baby ducks. I also thought it would be super cute to draw in these little icons for my habits: reading, water, vitamins, and self-care, still using that same color story and bubbly look across the board here. I'm also keeping the same layout for my focus check-in section as last month, and that's been working really well for me. With this chart, I just check in with some of those yearly focuses I set in place at the beginning of the year. And I like having this little chart. It just keeps those categories in mind from month to month. I think without it, I would literally forget that I made that focus spread back in December. And I want to be intentional about not leaving those goals behind as we truck through the year. All that to say, I actually don't like how this turned out this month. I wish I would have pulled back a bit and just went with a simple one color black chart for that, but it's whatever. On to the next page, which is the night log. I feel terrible that I explain this every month at this point, but I like it. It tracks our dinners, our takeout, our movies, and yeah. For the header, we're throwing in our third baby duck, and this one is about to transform into whatever crazy crime-fighting robot that it does. It's very Power Rangers. It has that aesthetic. But I guess in context of the night log, Little Duck wants his dinner and his entertainment pronto. So other than that header, this is a quick and easy setup. Split the page, number the rows, and it's a done deal. Oh yeah, I forgot to number the habit days, and I need that to keep me honest. The last spread is a very truncated weekly spread. It only has 4 planning days since the month starts on a Thursday. I didn't want to put 11 days in this first spread, so I decided to honor the first 4 days of the month per usual with an events section and the daily task boxes. I'm also throwing in our last baby duck, and he's playing some video games, looking over at my tasks, being glad it's not him. but I'm using that same technique I've used before, putting down the shapes first and going over them with a fine liner. But on the right side of the page, I'm working in a time tracker section, which for me isn't completely random because I actually have a small notebook that I keep on my desk with the same sort of setup. So with my job, I track hours for different projects and clients, so I have my days pretty much blocked out in 30-minute increments. And then at the end of the day or the next day, I'll enter those times in an app that we use for invoicing and business management. So anyway, I thought it wouldn't be a total bust of a page to add 2 of the time trackers here and a notes section down at the bottom for any random reminders or anxious doodling during meetings. But yeah, that's going to do it for this spread and this setup. If you've enjoyed this setup and want to recreate it, please be sure to give me a tag over on Instagram so I can see it and share it to my story. This month's Patreon kit to make recreation even easier has launched as well. There are blank calendars, coloring sheets, and even that time tracker if you want to give time blocking a try. Tiers start at just $2 a month, and I'd really love to have you join the collection crew. With that said, let's head into the final flip through. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much if you have. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys. And if you liked this video, here are a couple more I think you would enjoy.